Hello, beautiful beings. Namaste. My name is Azrael, and I'm coming to you today live from Nashville, Tennessee. And I'm so excited and so happy to be here with you today. I hope you're all doing wonderful. I hope you're all having an amazing and beautiful day. And yeah, and I hope with Mercury retrograde being over that this is working a little bit better than it did last week. If not, I will make sure to share the recording. Yeah. So first of all, how are you doing? How are you? How is life? How is your experience here and now of being? And I mean that, like take a moment and really just settle in and check in with yourself and be like, okay, like how is it here? How is it here in my life, in this space, in this moment? And each one of us will have a different answer, will have a different experience. For many of us, we're moving through a collective shift and the chaos that seems to be like weaving itself through every moment of our world right now, and this beautiful birthing that we're in. And yet we'll still be finding our center, right? And then for others of us, it'll be like, I don't really know how I am, or I'm feeling heavy. I'm finding it hard right now to connect to something bigger, connect to something more than than my mind or my story or what's unfolding in my life. And so today I wanted to take a few moments to really tune in and talk about frequency and talk about the gifts and the importance of aligning ourselves with the frequency, especially at this time. Um, it's something I just keep coming back to and coming back to in my practice and in the space of being. Um, how can I align myself more with source? And how can I, even in the fullness and the busyness of my days, be touching those spaces that are beyond the mind, beyond the story, and yet are more grounded, more alive, and more free and open than anything that I could ever experience, anything I could ever know? And for a lot of us, this has been at different times in our life very easy, right? To connect to frequency or to connect to that true self and that space of our highest consciousness. And then at times it's like hard, it gets clouded and jumbled. And I would suggest, especially in these last 4 or 5 years, as everything is really dissolving and opening, there's moments where you're like, who am I? Or where is that stream of consciousness, that stream of truth that I've always known is blossoming within me? It's harder to connect with, or it's a little bit slipperier. And part of that is because we're going through such a fundamental change. We're changing from this space of um I don't know, let's say three-dimensional beings into multi-dimensional beings where we're accessing and opening things on a whole different level. There's parts of our chakras that are awakening in different ways, parts of our crystalline grid that are coming online. There's the experience of life that's pushing us to break the patterns and break the ancestral patterns, right? And everything is picking up speed, and yet it feels so stagnant at the same time, right? Like, how can things be moving so fast? And yet, on another level, I won't say the word constriction, but on another level, feel perhaps so heavy at times or so unclear at times. And so, frequency or aligning ourselves with source, it's that beautiful and magic space where we can feel the radiance of life, where we can tune in to something that is bigger than our minds and bigger than our stories. It's something that's available to us in every moment. It's something that, if we were able to, we could access it at every time, right? And as we've been moving through this mass unfolding, as we've been moving through this mass changing, it's like, okay, like, where is it? Things aren't so linear anymore as it's opening up. How do I expand into it and how do I experience it? And so there's first just some really practical things that we can do. And the number one thing, and perhaps the most important thing, is to get out in nature, right? It's to get out in something that is bigger than us. It's to step out of the box of our mind or our city or our doing and to really see the majesty of the river or the trees or the ocean. For those of you in the city that are like, well, I don't have access to this, what if it's just stepping outside and looking at the moon, right? What if for those of you that can go outside and look at the stars? Last night I went outside and it was like, oh, yeah, like I'm this big. And there's a vast world, a vast experience of life that is so much bigger. Mhm. And so when we step out into nature or allow ourselves to receive nature, what we're doing is we're shifting our energy from this state of more yang, more mind, more doing, more active, more movement this way, right? Instead, we're coming into a space um, where we're receptive. And we talked about receptivity 2 weeks ago, right? With opening to connecting with guides, opening to connecting with angels, opening to connecting with source or higher truth. And so when we step out into nature or into an experience that's so much bigger than us, it allows us to receive, to turn into the space of receptivity, to become the temple for life, right? To become the channel for life. And when we open to becoming the channel of life, we can feel this frequency moving through us. Um, another way to feel the frequency, obviously meditation is great. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about it, but meditation is great because it immediately brings us into a space where, again, we're dropping in, we're dropping out of the picture, we're dropping into a whole different level of wavelength. But in a simpler way, other than being like, okay, I got to meditate 20, 30 minutes twice a day, which is great. I'm not saying not to. It's about what about taking a moment when you're with a good friend to really just look at them, to just look at them and smile at them. And in fact, let's all do that right now. I'm smiling because I'm thinking of the beautiful Sarah McMillan who facilitates this group. And I'm seeing you, Sarah, right now. I'm feeling your beauty. I'm seeing the smile. I'm feeling the connection that's bringing me once more out of my mind and into my heart. So I'd like all of you to take a moment and to truly just think about someone that you love, someone that you have ease and connection with. And I'm switching to another person right now. I'm actually switching to another Sarah. If you're watching this, Sarah, you'll know who you are. And just tuning in and like noticing, not when we're thinking about talking to them, but we're just feeling them. We're just being with them. We're aligning ourselves to a frequency that's more in connection with source. Maybe switch through a couple friends. Just just imagine them sitting in front of you. That's that right there. Like that's like the shift that nature gives us, right? Is when we allow ourselves to come into the place of gratitude or heart connection. A place where we're like, oh, like, yeah, this is life. This is life. Not what I'm doing, not who I think I need to be, not when the chaos is over and it's peaceful all the time, but like this moment right here is life. And as we allow ourselves to open to the frequency of light, knowing that we each have a unique rhythm, we each have a unique resonance that is our own. My resonance is not like yours. And yours is not like your neighbor's, right? And that what makes it so beautiful because when we come together, we make harmonies. We come into a space of song, right? Sometimes there's dissonance there. And sometimes there is the most beautiful melody we could ever imagine. And each of us is adding to it. And so what would it be like to know, to tap in, to touch into these spaces throughout the day, even just for a moment, right? Where it's like, oh yeah, here I am. Not even mourning what I is, right? Just here I am. Did you notice when you imagined your friend and you came into that joy? There was no sense of like needing to do or be anything, be anywhere. I'm smiling a little bit because yesterday I went over to a friend's house and she has puppies, 5 little puppies with the mama. And holding these puppies for a few hours, watching them play, same thing, drops us right into the heart. Like I just was like, that was timeless. And it brought me to a space of expansive peace. When we can come into that space of frequency, that peace, that life, that fullness, that ease, then we are an integral part of this change. And this is not a, you have to do this, you have to get it right, right? It's more about like, why not open to it? It makes things so much easier when the chaos is swirling around. And I don't think that's going to stop anytime soon. When we're able to drop in and drop beyond the, the story, right? To drop into what is real. Because what is real? This moment, this space, this place. We're able to access so much more peace and joy. We're able to move more mindfully, and we're able to have a better quality of experience of life ourselves. We're able to be the peace in the wave. We're able to be like the surfer on the waves, right? Where are we going? All of us have our own ideas, but do any of us truly know? Life is taking us there. It is unfolding. And I'm guilty of this myself. Think about like, oh, one day when we're all in the 5D and we're all joined and we're all like connected and it's peace, love, happiness. And yet by doing that and focusing so much on that, I'm not aligning with my frequency here. And I'm also not here in this moment, which is just as rich as any moment will be. And so let's do a little group attunement. Let's go into a space and for those of you that are watching live, feel free to leave any questions. And no worries if you don't, they might not come up on the screen. So if I don't see them, I'll make sure to check after. And if you're watching by video later, feel free to leave any questions or share your experiences below, because I think it really helps us to know we're not alone. I mean, sure, actually, one more story before we go into the attunement. So I've really been focusing on this energy of frequency. Like, I'm not asking what is my frequency because I know what my frequency is. When it's there, I know it. Like it's like, oh yeah, here I am. Here it is. I'm in alignment, right? Um, and lately I've been having some pretty big gifts and pretty big glimpses of it, right? I used to be quite connected to it all the time. And then I had a Kundalini, and then I had a life shift. And then, oh my gosh, yeah. And then it's been like, okay, the frequency is actually different. It's changed. It's perhaps higher, it's perhaps stronger. And yet I don't necessarily access it as much as I used to in the day to day. And so the past few months, it's like, oh, there it is. Oh, here I am. Oh, and sometimes it's just for a moment. Sometimes it's just for 30 seconds. And then it's like, ah, but that taste of it, it informs my cells, it informs my body, it informs my mind, and I'll radiate with it for the rest of the day, right? And and the more that I touch it, even for a moment, the more it becomes part of me. The more I'm like, oh no, it's here now. I can access it. I can be with it. And so just knowing it's not about sustaining it all the time, it's more just dropping in and giving yourself that experience of familiarity, And I wouldn't even say dropping in. It's more when it rises up and you can melt into it. Mhm. So let's take a moment and let's come together. Invite you to be seated, close your eye, and to bring the tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth behind the teeth. Invite yourself to soften, noticing if there's anything at all that's in the way of your being able to be here and now. Taking a deep breath, and when you're ready, exhaling, just letting go. Mm. Feeling your spine, feeling your sit bones on the earth. And when you're ready, allowing roots to drop from your sit bones all the way down to the center of the earth. Imagine a long line of light moving through your crown, through the central channel, connecting all the way up to the highest point in heaven and the deepest grounding space in earth. And then imagine all the other beautiful people doing this practice with us right now, whether in the future, in this moment, or some other time. I always see ourselves sitting in a circle, many circles, connected. Notice that every light in this circle of amazing being is shining with their own unique radiance and their own unique color. Notice that you're shining too. And I'm going to invite you to take your left palm and place it on your left thigh, palm up, and your right palm, turning palm down, either on your right knee or thigh or next to you. And imagine that your right hand is holding on to someone's upturned left hand, and that your left hand is underneath someone's right hand. And as you inhale, I invite you to inhale from heaven or earth or both, your own unique frequency, your own unique radiance. And as you draw this energy in through the crown or from the root or both, as you exhale, imagine it to just flow through your being. And notice what color it is. Notice its resonance. Take 3, 4 breaths like this, just breathing in and exhaling, allowing that beautiful resonant light to shine through you. And then bringing your awareness to your belly and imagining the most beautiful crystal there, any kind of crystal, whatever crystal first comes to you. For me, it's kyanite. And just imagine this crystal of grounded awareness, something that is going to hold the frequency of your light, that is there to support you and protect you. And then bring your awareness to the heart and notice a crystal there, a vibration there. I actually have rose quartz today showing up there. Feel the beauty when you touch your heart. Notice just by sitting in circle that you're already aligned with the frequency of your highest being. And then bringing your awareness to the third eye. What's there? What crystal? What gemstone? I have an emerald and a blue sapphire dancing together. And take a moment here and notice your alignment, notice your radiance, notice your power, your grace. And then feel the radiance of this circle of beings that you're connected with right now, noticing that you're very held in your own energy field. And also, then noticing the power of the song of all of us coming into our being, coming into our sacred sound, our sacred self. Squeeze the hands next to you, and then bring your hands back to your lap. And let's just sit for a moment here in silence, noticing that the frequency of your being is beyond the mind, it's beyond the story. Heart is smiling, the body is relaxed. It truly is this simple. And no matter where life is taking to you, no matter how life is crashing its waves into you, no matter how life is unfolding for you, this is always with you, this frequency, this light, this energy. And it doesn't mean bypassing the feelings, the emotions, the story. We're living it. But where can you just for a moment step into nature or see the beauty of a friend or step into your heart? Life lives through us, and it's taking each one of us, it's taking this world where it needs to go. So may we ride that surfboard of life. May we dance in the storms, and may we allow ourselves to be life itself. So I thank you all so much for sharing with me. Feel free to post any questions or thoughts or experiences down below. Know that each one of us is a drop in this magnificent ocean, a note in the song of life, and that we are all connected and a reflection of the whole. I'll be back in 2 weeks, and I wish you all the most beautiful, beautiful day. Namaste.